Have you ever considered what truly drives the pursuit of fairness and justice within our economic systems, particularly regarding how labor is compensated and who ultimately benefits from the work we do? Yes, eliminating exploitation is indeed a foundational principle within socialist thought, standing as one of its most defining characteristics. It is not merely an aspiration but a core element of how socialist economic systems aim to reorganize society and production. From a socialist perspective, exploitation fundamentally arises when one group benefits from the labor of another without offering equivalent compensation. The classic Marxist analysis identifies this primarily within the capitalist mode of production, where the capitalist, who owns the means of production, purchases labor power from workers. These workers then produce commodities whose value exceeds the wages they receive. This difference, known as surplus value, is appropriated by the capitalist, forming the basis of profit, rent, and interest. This structural dynamic, where labor creates more value than it receives, is understood as exploitation, distinct from simple inequality. To counteract this, socialist theory proposes various mechanisms, most notably the social ownership of the means of production. This could manifest as state ownership, worker cooperatives, or other collective forms where productive assets are controlled by society as a whole, rather than private individuals. The goal is to ensure that the value created by labor is returned to the laborers themselves or distributed for collective benefit, thereby eliminating the capitalist's ability to appropriate surplus value. It is important to understand that the concept of exploitation in socialism is not an ethical judgment on individual capitalists, but rather a critique of the systemic relationships inherent in capitalism. This understanding also connects deeply with the concept of alienation, where workers become separated from the products of their labor, the act of labor itself, their species being, and other human beings, all stemming from the exploitative nature of the production process. Ultimately, the commitment to eliminating exploitation underscores the socialist vision for an economy built on principles of equality, social justice, and collective well-being. By restructuring ownership and control over production, socialist systems aim to ensure that human labor serves the needs of all, rather than generating private profit, fostering a society where everyone can thrive free from the appropriation of their toil.